All right, guys. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you all players for, of course, attending today's event. Thank all the staff. Thank all the volunteers. Thank you all for paying attention to the stage up front here. Okay. Hey guys. Woo! You guys excited for the post event announcements? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna give a quick. So for today, we're gonna have a very interesting discussion with our devs, and also go into some event updates for the future upcoming events with product announcements, and also go into some announcements for future events. So for the first section of our discussion today, we're going to do a panel with all the developers here. So I'm going to invite onto the stage all the devs of the Weebs team. So Alan, Director of R&D. Belle, Creative Lead. Belle, Creative Lead.
She's coming.
Celadar, Lead Game Designer. Theo, our Organized Play Manager. And last but not least, Tin, the Art Director for Grand Archive. All right, so it's going to be a panel discussion on the making of, creating of Mortal Ambition. Discussion with all of our developers here. Okay, so before we get started, I do want to kind of basically ask some quick questions. I did ask this question when I first talked to Roger. But first, can we go around the room and just have you all introduce yourself real fast? So Alan, you're first.
Well, hello guys. I'm Alan. You're welcome to the thanks guys. Yeah, I'm the director of R&D at Weaves of the Shore. I get to do a bunch of fun stuff while the team gets to do other stuff. So I'm gonna pass it off to Belle. I get to. Sorry, it's been a long night.
It has been a long night.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Belle. I do lore, flavor text, card names. Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
Hello. I'm Celadar.
Hi, Celadar.
I still don't.
Hey, man. I'm a game designer. I make a lot of cards. Yep. Yeah. Whoa.
Oh.
Hi.
So you're the guy who makes the
Yeah.
cards.
I'm Theo. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
I'm the head of organized play here, which means that I organize the play. That's all.
Hey guys, I'm Tin. I'm the art director, and I make sure that you guys are see what you like to see when you get your cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, very, very awesome panel here for our discussion. So before we get started, I do want to ask this panel, what are your favorite cards?
My favorite cards?
Your favorite card. Alan, yours first.
Obviously, Refurbish. Refurbish is my favorite card. That's a good card.
My current favorite card from this current set is Soothing Disillusion.
My favorite card is Quicksilver Grail. Yeah.
Oh. It's because I stole his card.
Mine is specifically the SP1 print of Nimue Cursed Touch.
My favorite one is probably Shira from. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
From
so
what? Not many people know that card.
From Ascent Singapore.
Okay.
Paso Silver.
What about you, Mark? What's your favorite card?
I love all Grand Archive cards.
Yeah, that's what I
Every
thought.
single one of them.
Good answer, good
Yeah,
answer.
I learned it from my daughter. What is one fact about GA that really amazed you or surprised you, let's say, in the last year?
In the last year, I'd never thought, I think, that we'd have events. If you told me last year that we'd have events like this large with this scale of production and with like, even with like the UI and stuff, I don't think I would believe you. But I'm very shocked and very proud of like how far the community has brought us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, are we going down for this too? For me, I think it's, I'm really surprised at just how passionate the fans and players are. It's been really amazing to get to know everybody, and it's really awesome to see the community.
Yeah. Recently, I'm really amazed by the growth of like the Southeast Asia region, particularly being an English-only game. The players in Taiwan really picked up the game a lot, even though they don't read English that well. So but it's impressive.
Yeah, for me, I'd say like it's very striking how much growth the game has had in 1 year. It's like unbelievable, quite frankly. And being there for the very first ascent and now this ascent is such a stark difference, and it's shocking in a great way. So I think that's like something I'm super happy about.
Something I'm happy about is probably that we're like the first anime TCG game that is start from scratch in the US, because like no one really are able to do that in the US, and yeah, I'm really proud of that.
All right. I'm going to shift gears a little bit on this discussion and take us directly into the topic at hand, which is about Mortal Ambition. So I'm kind of curious, right? First question, I think a lot of the audience also wants to know, why did Weebs decide to create a Three Kingdoms set in the first place?
Why did
okay.
we? Who wants to start?
Okay. The reason we picked Three Kingdoms is that we're going through multiple countries, famous stories, epics, and stuff like that. Our first set was through Legend of King Arthur, and now we are doing something that's very famous in the Asia region. Three Kingdoms is something that most people know about in the Asia region, and I feel like this is something that will bond the Asian player, and then also let the US player know about the Asian culture, and then something that the Asian people like.
I totally agree. Now, yeah, it's just a set. I think we all really like the set idea. I think Tin was probably the first one to bring it up. And like he said, we all wanted something that's probably polar opposite of, I think, Cambria a bit.
Okay, very interesting. So a lot of this process of, some genesis from one of the devs of a set, and then that turns into kind of course, designing and fleshing out the entire set. What does that general design process at Weebs look like?
Yeah, so first we decide what we want to theme the set. So we kind of like pick a world, like a thematic. So we wanted to do like kind of like Asian culture, Three Kingdom style set. Then we pick a lot of like these mechanics. We design mechanics that really hone in on the identity of the world. So like something like equestrian for Mortal Ambition. We also look at like what characters we want to highlight, and then we build mechanics that makes you really feel like you're playing that character, similar to like Shifting Currents for Kongming. But yeah, usually it's like top down. We start with the world, we pick the characters we want to feature, we design mechanics around that to make it really feel like you're in that world playing that character, and then ship the set. It makes it sound simple, but yeah.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And of course, you spoke about character, Silodar, and I know a lot of the folks in this room, even though they don't really know the Chinese history of Three Kingdoms, a lot of you guys have played Dynasty Warriors, and it is very character-driven. I feel like a lot of people have their favorite characters. So let's talk a little bit about characters. How did GA, or Grand Archive, decide to spotlight certain characters within Mortal Ambition? Which ones were chosen to be champions or allies or possibly even key antagonists?
So the characters that we pick up from Three Kingdoms are mainly the most famous one, the Cao Cao, Liu Bei, and Sun Quan. They are the main leader of the three faction within the Three Kingdom. That's why it's called the Three Kingdom, and they each represent each one. And the other characters, we started picking from the most important to these generals, to these leaders. They're their most loyal generals and their helpers and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I didn't pick the champions, but I was told we should do Kongming. So why did you tell me to do that one?
Kongming is probably the most influential character within the Three Kingdom, and the romance of the Three Kingdom is pretty much based around this character Kongming. And there's a lot of things that this character did throughout the story that made everything change, and everyone, like all the stories, like basing on this character. And I feel like this is like the best time to make this character the main character.
So, Kongming is one of the champions. There's another champion, Jin, and explicitly, Jin is not from Three Kingdoms. How was that decision made, and why?
We kind of wanted to really integrate Grand Archives lore, so the ideas of the champions coming from the Grand Archives. So we really wanted to create a unique character, as we did in Cambria as well. We wanted to kind of add our own little spice to the existing Three Kingdoms, and that's kind of why we ended up going with Jin as kind of our main protagonist, grounding us in almost his eyes viewing the Three Kingdoms.
Wow. Okay. So Jin is almost like one of us, kind of like
Yeah.
looking into Grand Archive in this world, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Speaking of looking in, I feel like a lot of times artwork is visual lore, right? So when I think about the world of Sangguo versus the world of Azoth, the world that we just came from, a darker world, Sangguo is much more vibrant, much more colorful, right? How does the art team work with artists to keep, a lot of these balances between the artist's creativity and delivering the work, but also keeping the world consistent?
So the color theme of Sanggo's Three Kingdom is the color of green, blue, and red. This is the main color representing each kingdom. And so with this three color, we have a very straightforward color that we have to follow for each character that we're making. So this makes it a lot easier for us to just create characters that is more vibrant and then following these colors and then just start adjusting.
So I'm also kind of curious about the world in general, right? So we see some key advanced element ley lines, such as Terra, Luxem, of course, and new ley line, Exia. So what inspired the Weeps team to design the world of Sangguo to have these advanced ley lines?
So advanced elements are often based off of when we need to support advanced elements in the game. That's one of the big reasons, but also one of the cool thematics of Sangguo is that we think like Luxem is like heaven, and then Terra is like earth, and then Exia is like below that.
What's below that?
HG double hockey stick.
Yeah. So it's like, I thought we thought it was a cool like a trinity.
Okay, interesting. So shifting a little bit now, of course, designing this element to be part of the gameplay, for gameplay, what are some of those decision criteria and goals of designing for Mortal Ambition for this new set?
Yeah, I mean, at its forefront when we're trying to test any ideas or do anything, the most important thing to us is that we make something fun.
Yeah.
And fun means a lot of different things to everyone. So I could have fun making you not play the game. I could have fun playing allies. I could have fun, just drawing cards. So it just depends. And with that, we adjust things with balance. So we always try to make the cards make you feel like you are powerful and accomplishing your goals, but there's always a knob that we must turn back. So for example, say for champion Kongming. Kongming is level 3 is actually, this is a minute change in the grand scheme of things, but it actually affected how she played a lot. So as you're all aware, the level 3 Kongming changes the directions whenever you cast or activate a spell. And it used to go just any direction that you want. So during the...
What?
Yeah, you just, so that right now you can only go to the adjacent. So when we first played it, we were having a lot of fun. Some of us a little too much fun. And we had to dial that back a bit. So one Terrasite meant you get a lot of value out of just one Terrasite. And that's kind of where we had to dial things back, because you had a lot of fun drawing cards. When you had your whole deck in your hand, oh, well, I don't have my whole deck in my hand, so it's not that fun for me. But that's some things that how balance and design can change the fun aspect of a card. But Kongming was a card that we really liked, so still wanted her to feel powerful, changing the element, that strategist type character in mind. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Speaking of shifting currents, right? Shifting currents is a new concept. It's this mastery that we have now within Grand Archive. How did you come up with it in general?
Basically, think about what strategist feels like in like any type of tabletop medium. The tabletop medium is like extremely hard to like try to get any sort of role-playing aspect nailed down. The Shifting Currents is basically just a card that you can rest four times. Yeah,
A certain amount of time.
yeah. It's basically like a state machine that has like 4 different modes, and it actually unlocks a lot of potential. And then we themed it around the cardinal directions so that it fit well with the strategist feeling of Hongming.
Yeah, and that's also based on like some of the stuff that Tin talks about to us when he proposes like the idea. So it's really cool. Like he was like, I wanted to do this, and then I learned more about this character. So looking at it from Silk comes up with a lot of great designs ideas.
Yeah.
And he proposes it to us, and sometimes we're like, oh, that's not that cool. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like really cool. And this is one of those ideas that like I think after we learned all the surrounding factors, we got a really cool outcome.
Yeah, it's like intertwined with lore, right? But also very, very good mechanic as well. So I noticed that, Shifting Currents is a mastery. Will there be more masteries in the future?
So masteries is kind of like a thing I'd like to use when I think like I have a really cool idea and I'm out of card text on a champion card. And so, yeah, it's possible. I mean, if I come up with something that deserves like a mastery because I really need that text, because usually like a lot of text is not that great design. Like you're kind of just forcing it, but like sometimes it's worth it. So, yeah.
Cool. And I'm going to ask a quick question about Exia here, right? So personally, I think Exia is super effing cool, right? It's like this idea of this, thing that cannot ever die. What was your inspiration behind Exia?
Well, Exia was one of the original elements that we had originally planned back in like the original conception of the element system.
Yeah.
It was originally called Wrath, but now we renamed it to Exia. It's basically like the I'm really angry element.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
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 That's why it's red, and that's why it's like, it's a.
Yeah. Yeah, we just thought that was like there's a lot of like aspects of life and elements.
Emotion.
Like that was missing between the other advanced elements, and it's just not explored. It's like Umbra doesn't technically have to be angry, all the other elements aren't like too emotional or anything. So
If I could share a story, like talking about Umbra, when he proposed like what is Umbra, like it's not just like shadows. What does it mean deeper beyond that? So what should Umbra make a player feel? And we talked about it. It's like I think it should feel like it's like a terrifying or like spooky kind of like it should make you fear like what's to come next. So this is maybe a little bit of a tangent, but talking about like older sets, when he first came up with the idea for Tristan, it's like what's scary, like what actually terrifies you? Is it just a big creature? Not technically. The reason why Tristan banishes your cards face down is the unknown. The unknown is terrifying. So putting that fear into like a player because they don't know what cards they could have lost, what cards they have access to, I think was like a really cool way, like how he proposed that idea. And that's how we come up with like things like Exia and like all that too.
What about horses? So we see a lot of horses in
I like horses.
You like horses?
That's it.
That's it?
No. I'll let them talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
yeah, so horses is it serves two purposes. It is a good draft mechanic, but it also really solidifies like the world of Sanguo, because like later down the line, like 10 sets down from now, I don't want people to remember Mortal Ambition with like, oh, it's that one set with this strong card, right? I want people to remember Mortal Ambition as, oh, it's the set with the horses, right? So it gives the set an identity. Otherwise, all the sets are just gonna feel the same, So
Yeah. So I'm actually kind of curious also about just in general. So Alan, you mentioned earlier about like fun, right, in part of the design process. What is the definition of fun? What do you look for when you're testing for fun?
So, in a very broad sense, I think fun is subjective. Like I think people have fun in different ways. I think what the things that we can control is probably annoyance is like the best word I can think of right now. So, getting a initial design, is it frustrating to like deal with? Is it frustrating to handle? UX and or the user experience is also very important and fun. I can't remember a story off the top of my head for Mortal Ambition, but I think for previous sets, actually, so for Star Calling, it was a little bit cumbersome initially for an introduction of a mechanic like that to, glimpse and for people to activate a card right out of that. And it used to you could just put all the cards kind of back.
Yeah.
Now it's much more simplified version so that you can, glimpse, activate a card, then just the rest go to the bottom very simply. So those are the things that we control with fun and just kind of, we still want players to find their way, like to have fun. And we want to give you the tools to do that. We don't want to necessarily make you play it the way that, we always intend. I think there's a lot of different ways that people enjoy GA, so.
Yeah. Speaking of different ways that people enjoy GA, I heard a lot of audience really enjoyed Draft. So, basically a lot of people were really excited about Draft, and it's a very brand new way to enjoy GA. I'm kind of curious, right? So if drafting debuted at this event, what was it like to design Draft overall?
Yeah, we wanted to solve like a couple problems. One of them was that we wanted to be able to draft within 3 booster packs, so that was a must. So we had to increase the amount of cards to 15, and then we needed to solve the problem that, okay, we can't just spam these packs with material deck cards. So we then designed a new pack specifically for that. And it also includes like a fixed set of cards that you would always need, so it makes it a lot more consistent. The floor of each draft pool is much better. And then we designed the draft pack based on the homeworld, so that eventually if we wanted to do another set that's draftable, we can just like reprint some cards from each draft pack. So like maybe draft pack 2 could take like half of the cards from the first draft pack, and then we'll introduce like new to make up the rest. So like each draft format can feel pretty unique while it's still sustainable long term when we keep doing draft formats. But with Mortal Ambition, we kind of ran into a problem where production was limited. So we kind of had to put it in the back burner for a draft and premiere only at a sense. Initially, we wanted to release draft to stores with like event kits. Like in your event kit, you could have some like draft packs, but due to production issues and logistics, we couldn't get that rolling. So, yeah.
Yeah. So actually, adjustments were made, right? So like from a production perspective, is designing GA to be a, let's say, 11, 12 card pack very, very different from 15? And how does that change for production?
That's a Roger question.
It's just more cost, but we pay more cost for user experience all the time. So
okay,
no.
Cool. And I think I heard this already, but I want to confirm. Are you stating that future sets will be draftable?
I mean, it's been a test run. We've had good feedback so far, so it's like might as well explore it in the future.
Directly out of the box, or would it have to be at an event to get the special addendum packs?
I don't think we would do drafts directly with 3 packs out of the box. It's not that. Yeah, you would need the extra packs, but
Okay.
the goal with that would be to make it a lot more accessible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Different options, right?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe like a box topper type of thing or something, maybe within the box already. I want to kind of ask about the foiling. So probably a lot of you guys noticed too, the foiling in Mortal Ambition is drastically different from previous sets, right? That we got the colors back, and of course, it does not curl. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have left your foils on a desk because you were busy opening boxes for CSRs and forgot to sleeve them. But I found mine like weeks later, and they don't curl. How did you guys do that?
It's mainly a Roger thing.
Okay.
Right? But he's not here. But
Shout out to Roger.
we were proposed the foiling from like this company that makes paper that doesn't really pertain to card games.
Yeah.
But like I think a lot of like TCG companies aren't willing to explore like new technologies. Like they're like too bound to consistency, I guess. But we saw the potential of like this company was pitching it to our manufacturer. They're like a paper mill or paper manufacturer, pitching it to our printing manufacturer. That this paper is like has no foil lamination.
Yeah.
So basically, you can't peel the foil off. It's like the foil is like printed into the paper.
Yeah.
And when there's no lamination, then it doesn't curl. It will curl just as much as a non-foil card, basically.
Basically, will curl as much as paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it did come with a bunch of challenges. Cutting it was really hard. So we had to like, before we could actually put it into like a mass adoption set, we actually discovered this in like FTC days, but we didn't decide to push it out until like AMB because there were several issues with it for a card game. Yep.
Yeah, and I think I speak for the entire community that we, the players, really appreciate you guys putting all this kind of work and love, into even things like paper. I mean, it really improves the experience. I've had multiple people who have held GA cards and say, these are the best cards, trading cards I've ever touched in my life, right? So it definitely shows. Yeah,
We appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Roger.
Thanks,
Thank you, Roger.
Thanks,
Yes.
Roger.
Yeah.
So what other adjustments did you guys, did the Weeps team make for a larger print run for Mortal Ambition, given that, the game is growing at a really rapid pace?
The main bottleneck with manufacturing is actually like packing cards.
Oh,
Like sorting, we only have like one sorting machine.
okay.
So what we did was we hired a night shift at the manufacturer. So
Basically
now
hired-
we
yeah, you
now we
gotta
have people
work more.
packing like 24/7.
24/7. Yeah, that's drastically increasing the production rate, right? Yeah. Okay, kind of taking us a step back here and kind of thinking about Mortal Ambition being released for about 2 months now. I want to ask, do you feel like you've hit, all that your goals for this set?
I think personally, just from the way that I think the meta's been playing out and the way people have been playing, I think we accomplished a lot and we did learn some lessons. I don't think we're perfect, obviously, but I would say that it's pretty satisfactory. And I think what I'm amazed by is like how much the community has grown, not only in deck building and competitiveness, but you guys have all also been willing to share with each other. Like we have so many great tools made by the community, not by us, which is I think a sign of a truly successful game, because I think the community matters more and what they're like willing to do on their own too. So without much help from the company. Yeah. So that's been really awesome. Yeah, I mean, just this event, we've had like, so many like different decks. I think some people may be tired of slimes, but I think even though you guys might feel a little tired of it, I think people have shown that there's still ways to innovate, still ways to play. There's still other decks out there that you have to respect, and it is sometimes just being the best, skilled player in the room. There's many familiar faces that we get to see at every event. Even our first, second place today. I know Enki has seen you a lot, so Mitch is also like really great, and I think it proves a lot of our core philosophy that skill does matter in GA. So, yeah. Anything else?
Anything else from the panel?
I forgot the question. Sorry.
Did you hit all the goals of Mortal Ambition that you intend to hit?
Yeah. There were some concerns with the launch of with Mortal Ambition. It was like maybe the Shifting Currents Mastery just flops and people didn't like it. It's like, sure, we tested it with like a few people. We UX tested it. Like, oh, what if it's really weird to turn that card 270 degrees? And maybe people don't like it. Some weird concerns like that, but I think they've all been answered, and I think I'm pretty satisfied as a designer. Yeah.
Was there anything that you would do differently about Mortal Ambition now, seeing everything you've seen after 2 months?
Design-wise, I mean, put more text on 3 visits.
No, that's like the 3 visits was like a sort of like a templating. Like we talked a bit about earlier about card space and real estate, and honestly, there were some changes we make towards the end, just because 3 visits is a beautiful card, right? First of all, I think the artwork is amazing. The first time we're doing this extended art treatment for the URs in particular, so it was like we want to do the cards justice, because considering where our background is growing up playing the card games we like, we wanted something that wasn't too cramped, and 3 visits was on the cusp of being too cramped. So we ended up pivoting the design slightly, but I think that's probably something I would go back and change too. In terms of the meta, I think that's left for the players to discover. We have an idea from the playtesting team what the potential meta is going to look like, but we're never, I'd say we could never be 100% accurate. I think it's what people can think of is something that we can't really define a solid factor for. So I think there's nothing else I would really change there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, looking more generally at GA now, the game is growing at an exponential rate across the world, right? Of course, in the States, but in Southeast Asia and other regions as well. So, kind of asking organized play here a little bit. Setting up events like this. Players love, the feedback I consistently hear is players love the organized play of GA, right? What do you think are some of the driving factors for that, Theo?
So the things that I think players really like about GA in general is that I think there's a sense of community both within the player base, but then also between the players and the development teams. So everyone feels very connected, and that's sort of a connection that doesn't exist in basically any other game. So people feel a lot closer to the development of the game itself, and so that sort of close-knit relationship brings people together, from a general sense. But also just looking at organized play in general, you can tell how much effort that goes in on the back end to make the player experience the priority, because something that we care about a lot is just making sure that players are having a good time, first and foremost. We've talked about fun in the playtesting room being a defining factor of the game, and so something that we really do prioritize is the player experience, and so I think that's one thing that keeps players coming back to GA, is just that they're having a good time, ultimately.
So you're really focused right now on, currently you're looking into continued focus on player experience?
Yeah, I mean, we always want to continue prioritizing the players and making sure that the experience is good. I think if we were not trying to make a good player experience, we wouldn't be making a very good game.
Yeah.
So that's something that's sort of always true. We always want to make sure player experience is very good, and everyone is sort of happy with where the game's at.
Okay, any specifics on achieving that player experience for the community?
It's a lot of factors, right? So it's sort of like we've alluded to before. Everyone has fun in different ways, and that's also something that I think is very unique about Grand Archive with the tournaments, right? You have Path of Silver, so people who really like collecting and they really like just having the most beautiful collection of cards. You can still come to a tournament and compete. Right, you can express your fun that way. If you're someone who gets really into the thick of competitive play, you can grind out your matchups, your decks. You can try to meta call the best deck for the event and see if you could win the whole thing. If you're someone who is just a very casual player, you just enjoy the game and the mechanics. There's side events firing all day, so there's really something for everyone, and that's absolutely a driving factor of all the stuff we do.
Cool. Okay. All right. Well, I'm kind of really curious. Right. Lastly. What is something that you'd like to have said, but didn't have time to say on this panel? And we'll probably just pass the mic around the room and have everyone say something.
Let's start with Tin.
Things that I haven't talked about or didn't say enough is probably the lore, the Three Kingdom. That we are making a lot more characters, and there's numerous amount of characters that's that is liked by all the Three Kingdom fans, and we are actively trying to like implement it and talk about and explore more in our game. Yeah.
I'd say something that I mean, I mentioned maybe very briefly, but just the community aspect is something that's very dear to me just because I go to a lot of the events globally, and so I've met a lot of different communities all over the place, and it's just so striking how passionate everybody is about this game. And I just like cannot thank everybody enough, everyone who's involved, like the people who go to the events to play, to volunteer, to judge, like it's really just like wonderful, the community that we have here, and I just want to give like thanks where it's due to all of you guys.
Yeah, I wanted to add on to Theo's organized play, how we're like, making it more user friendly by saying that we're focusing on like accessibility as well. So if you're not able to come to Ascent, we're trying to make like the live stream experience a lot better. We're trying to do more events in general so that people can go to more Ascents, more regionals. So yeah, we're doing like TM did a really good production this time with this Ascent. So
Yeah, I agree.
We had our first girls' night at this Ascent, and I was really grateful that I have such a supportive team that enabled us to have such a unique event. I don't really think I've seen that ever in the TCG space, and it was incredible, the turnout that we got, and I think a lot of people had an amazing time. So if you're watching stream and you're a girl and you want a safe space for TCG, come to Ascent. Hopefully we'll have it again in the future, and really grateful again for the support that I've received, not just from all the wonderful girls in the community, but from every member of the community that have made Grand Archive a really fun and safe space for everyone. I think, especially if you go around and play a lot of TCGs, you'll find that everyone at Grand Archive is really nice and very kind people in the community, along with the passion, and I really, really appreciate that. And I think that really comes from the amazing team that we have, too. Everyone here is very
I don't want to cry.
compassionate.
So nice.
Yeah. Coming off the good vibe, I think I want to just mention something that I don't get to talk about like often, because we always talk about, we want to see you guys play, we want to be here. During this season, I noticed that frustrations are quite high. Whatever you want to do with GA, I want you to enjoy it the way that you want to, and I want to remind every single player that no matter how you're feeling about the game, is that our intention and our goal is to make a game that is there for a long time. So even when you're frustrated and you decide to step away and come back, we will always be there for you. So I hope everyone always remembers that. And to the stream that's watching at home, that's what card games were for me when I was younger, finding a place to belong and friends to hang out with. So if you ever think of GA, I think that's what I want to remind you, is that that's who we are. That's who I want to be to you, is your friend. I want to give you a place to hang out and play. So,
All right. Well said. Wow. Yeah, it's what a great conversation. Thank you guys so much. That concludes our panel discussion. I believe there is potentially a QR code somewhere, maybe on the stream. If you have a question for Dev, we do also have a Q&A section at the end. You can scan the QR code and input your question into the feed. But thank you, Devs, for your insightful input on this discussion. I'm going to pass the mic over to Sildar to continue the second part of our presentation.
Thanks,
right.
Mark.
Thank you. But yeah, Mark's gonna stay here. He's gonna give us a cool reaction.
Get a live react.
Yeah. So Shinja is gonna be helping me with the slides. A summary for this stream. We just did a panel on creating Mortal Ambition. Next, we're gonna go over some event reminders, product updates, and event announcements. You want me to control it?
Oh, cool. We got to control. We weren't sure at first.
You want me Am I doing? Is this the laptop connected?
So, you guys know Yoma? You can find out on the next podcast of Lineage Break.
Break niche.
Cam knows. Cam knows who knows that is. Mark, do you know?
Do I know what?
Oh, never mind.
I was trying to fix some technical issues with phones and slide decks in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's okay. You don't need to know.
Crying again for different reasons.
You guys want to hear Chris do stand up? That'll be $5. Deal? All right, we have a deal. Chris, you want to come up here for a second? All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris. He's going the scenic route.
You can just take JK. No. No,
Deal's
stand
off,
up
guys.
for
Lost in
you.
traffic.
Oh.
Proceeding.
Didn't take that long.
Be thankful.
Sorry, Chris.
Meow, 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 meow.
I'm gonna use this.
Yeah, yeah.
Start me off.
Meow, meow, meow.
What slide are we on? I can't tell. Okay.
That one. Yeah?
There you go.
Ooh.
All right, so first off, we're going to talk about event reminders, then some product updates, and some event announcements, right? Well, that's what we were supposed to be on while we were talking. And this is to remind you again what we were going to cover.
In case you forgot.
Whoa, it's like they're behind the scenes.
All right, Ascent Utrecht is going to be January 25th to 26th. Tickets are now on sale. At this Ascent, we're going to be debuting the Guoja deck box.
Oh, what?
And this deck box is going to be available at Ascent Melbourne as well. Also note that Ascent Melbourne is 1 week before HVN launches, but will also feature the HVN world premiere.
Whoa.
It's going to be a good time.
Yep. Tickets for this one go on sale on the 13th, very soon.
Ooh, everyone buy your tickets to go to Australia.
Start asking your parents.
Kuala
for Christmas.
Lumpur, the Guoja deck box will be available here too. Yep. And also at Ascent Seattle.
Oh, yeah! Woo!
So, Ascent Seattle is on March 15th to 16th, and tickets are going on sale on the 20th.
Yep.
Now,
Hey, Sil.
what's up?
What spirit's going to be available at Ascent Seattle?
Oh.
So we've been doing a cycle of spirits based off of like the worlds we visited. So, what was our latest spirit?
It was Minth today.
Oh, yeah,
Water.
that
Water
completes
spirit.
the Azoth.
That's off, yeah.
Elemental spirits, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
we're gonna go with the wind.
Yes!
So this is a wind spirit based on Sanguo.
Wow. Wow.
He's pretty cool.
I'm looking at this written verse and I already love it.
What was it like making this spirit tin?
Spirit.
It's crafting the spirit.
Finally
yeah.
got a male spirit for everyone that has been waiting for a very long time. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Ooh, that's going to be sick.
Next up, we have some product updates. We would like to announce Mercurial Heart Ultra Edition.
Oh! Woo!
Yep.
It's time to slam.
Guys, Icebound Slams are back. Cerulean Decree.
Now, some people are wondering, because Recollections have first edition packs, how are we going to reprint that? We are going to have Recollection Lights, which basically only have the deck and the playset cards. All right, so it doesn't have the packs, it doesn't have the sleeves, it's just the deck. It's going to be a cheaper offering price as well.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Now, while we transition to the next slide, I thought of one and I forgot it. So, about that world season.
What?
Is that what we're on? Yeah. Is that the next slide?
Yeah.
It is the next slide.
Yeah, I don't know why this is in this order because this is an event.
But here.
Whoa! Wow!
So, a lot of
California.
information on here. Theo, do you got anything to say?
You want to talk about this one too?
Yeah, we can.
Yo, I can do it.
Yeah, keep going.
Yep. So, okay. I was just informed that we don't have time for QA, so I'm sorry to anyone that submitted questions, but we have to leave at like midnight. So, but yeah, so Worlds is going to be at Anaheim. It's going to take place on June 27th to June 29th, and it's going to have 32 players. And then we're also going to have Ascent Worlds. So it's going to be, we're bringing back team standard format, and it's going to be 28th and 29th, but we're also having a full day of activities for day 0 as well, so we encourage people to travel a day earlier for this event. Now, what if you're interested for the Worlds event? How do you qualify? I'm proud to announce the all 4 nationals for the 2025 national season. So there's some small text on top of each tile that you might not be able to read. I'll read that for you. So in April, we have EU and Dusseldorf. Is that how you say it?
Dusseldorf.
Oh, okay.
Close enough.
Düsseldorf.
In this event, 2 players will be invited to Worlds, and 4 players will be invited to the Gauntlet. And
More on that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
What's the gauntlet?
The gauntlet.
Okay, and also in April, we had to actually flip this one. Taipei was originally planned for May, but we moved it up to April. 4 players will be invited to Worlds, and 8 players to the Gauntlet.
Whoa.
In May, we have Auckland for the OCE region, 4 players to Worlds and 8 to the Gauntlet. And in May, we're going to take it to St. Louis for 6 players invited to Worlds and 12 players invited to the Gauntlet. Now, we are doing the same thing we did last time where you pre-register on Eventbrite, but this time, if you pre-register on Eventbrite, you're going to get a backpack as your pre-registration gift.
What?
Mark's trying to get
It's Lubu, guys.
Show Mark on the phone. Mark.
Oh, I have it on my phone.
Okay. It's fine. I can see it backwards. My brain's reversing everything right now live.
So, from those 4 nationals, 16 players can qualify to Worlds. The other 16 will come from the Gauntlet, which is a last chance qualifier that takes place 1 day before the actual Worlds event.
What? What?
Yeah, so on June 26th, the day before Worlds start, is a 32-player event, and the top 16 will be the 16 that also qualify for the 32 players competing in Worlds.
Wow.
If you did the math, you'd notice that's how we get 16 going to the event.
16 plus 16 equals 32?
Yeah.
Awesome. Whoa. Okay. The gauntlet.
Yeah.
Wow.
The text is a bit small, so the people here can't see, but it's I don't know if you mentioned, it's a 1-day closed invite event. You get the invite by going to nationals. If you missed out barely, or how it's going to work is those players who qualify for the gauntlet will get an invite to come compete. So best of luck to you guys this season, and hopefully this gives us the opportunity to feature many different decks and players.
So does that mean that it's going to be like, for example, rank 4 through 8 might be in the gauntlet?
Yeah, so one national might have 4 people invited directly to Worlds.
Right.
And then the next 6 will be like invited to the gauntlet.
Oh, the pre-tournament before the real
Yeah.
tournament.
But it's a small event, but we're taking the top 16.
Yeah.
So it's like,
If you're invited to Gauntlet, your chance of making it to Worlds is actually pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another way in. Okay.
So something else that Worlds is good for celebrating, not only for players. Obviously, it's the culmination of the competitive season, and everyone wants to qualify for Worlds. But we also have a lot of very dedicated judge staff, and for those people, they don't necessarily want to qualify for Worlds. They want to judge the events. So we also want to say thank you to our judges, and we are having a Worlds judge promo.
Yeah.
So this promo for the judges will be based on effectively all 4 seasons culmination of judge experience based on your level and also how many premier events you've judged in that time. So where everybody else has been playing in regionals and store championships, you will be judged based on your level and how many premier events you've done. And there's also an upgraded version.
Guys, get your judge certifications today, okay? Do it. Perfect.
All right, some product reminders. Don't forget, Abyssal Heaven launches March 7th. It comes with the Guojia recollection and the Dialchan recollection. And also we have Alchemical Revolution Alter Edition. That's releasing on January 10th. That's like a month away.
No, a month away.
Yeah. When do you think we should start spoilers?
I mean, it'd be real convenient if we just like did it now, right?
Yeah, okay. So, Alchemical Revolution Alter Edition features 20 new cards. So, first we have Perdition. Should I read it to them?
Nah, they can read it themselves.
I think I should read it to them.
Yeah, okay,
I
you
see
can read
fire,
it.
guys. Fire card.
Card game players don't read.
All right, so Perdition is a 5-cost action cleric spell. It's a class bonus for clerics that makes it cost 2 less. Each ally target opponent controls gains on death, deal 1 damage to each unit you control until end of turn, and then deal 1 damage to each of those allies.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Well,
Okay. Fire Arsana.
Frozen Dismissal is a. I think they can read.
Cleric.
Wait, they
I think they
remember
need
how
to
to
cool
read.
off.
All right. Frozen Dismissal is a 3-cost action cleric spell reaction that costs 2 for clerics. Negate target ally card activation unless its controller pays 4. Banish the card that had its activation negated this way.
Wow.
Right, it only negates ally cards. Ally cards. Right?
What type of cards?
Ally cards.
Oh, okay.
Tricky chimps.
Yep. No more tricky chimps.
No more tricky gems. 4, huh? Okay.
Right, and we have a 5-cost Fortifying Aroma. This card costs 1 less to activate for each herb you control, and you put 2 buff counters on target ally at fast speed.
Fast speed. 2 buff counters. Oh my gosh.
It's like they're eating the plants.
You know Arsana won this event, right?
Huh?
Yeah, go Arsana. Yeah, woo! More cards. Yeah.
Wow, it's like they got like a Proxia's card or something that did something
I feel
cool.
like they might want some more spoilers.
Yeah, let's give.
Yeah.
Here's Focusing Round.
Oh. Here we go.
All right. Focusing Round is a 3-cost item, Ranger Bullet. It's not a material deck card, it's a main deck bullet. Has on enter, draw a card. And you can pay 2 reserve and rest it to load it into an unloaded target gun weapon you control.
Oh, you can't see this one?
At all, yeah. Full cock.
You thought we'd forget him.
So, Pocock gets a cool new card.
Yes.
Bombastic Sprint is a 2-cost action Ranger skill reaction your champion becomes distant, and it has polka bonus.
Guys.
Oh,
Calamity cannon time. Yeah!
The next Ranger action card you activate this turn can be activated as though it had fast activation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that card could have some calamitous implications.
it's gotta go fast.
We also have something for Nico. It's a 1-cost regalia item, guardian accessory, with on enter draw a card. And Nico bonus, you can rest it to change the target of an activation that targets another non-champion object you control to Temptation's Facade.
Huh.
There's a lot of confused faces.
They just can't help being drawn in.
Okay, say you have a Mage Bane Lash that gets targeted by a Fracturize. And then, yeah, okay.
They figured it out.
Can someone explain to me the layers?
That's it for the spoilers for Alter Edition. We'll provide more in a bit.
In a bit.
Yeah, we're
In a bit.
Yeah, in a bit.
So,
He wants me to do this. He wants me to do it.
oh,
He wanted me to do it.
so
Yeah.
we got some. Now that the spoilers are out of the way, we have a lot of different products, in particular to GA. And I think that's a great segue into
'Tis the season.
this is the season. So
Wow. What is
So we're gonna start doing like a festive, like holiday themed merchandise sets. So the first one we're launching with is Kongming. Pre-orders for this one will start on Christmas Day, and it will ship in February.
What's in it?
Yeah, what's in it? Let's see. So you're gonna get a promotional card. You're gonna get a full playset of Revitalizing Cleanse. You're gonna get 3 non-foils and 1 foil card. You're gonna get a playmat, a standee, keychain, tapestry, stickers, a deck box, similar to the compact deck box ones that you guys got today, and the storage box itself. Wow. Now, one thing to note, the foil has a chance of getting a CSR version. CR version.
Oops.
What?
it's a good time to get Christmas presents.
Hey
for
guys,
your
I'm gonna
friends,
have.
right.
There's gonna be a lot of tapestry going around. Okay, gotta hunt for that CSR.
Oh, speaking of Kongming,
And speaking of presents, I know a lot of folks have been asking me in particular when this next bit is coming out, and I'm pleased to announce that very soon we will have our very, not the first, but we are bringing back the lore articles, and we're starting with Kongming's lore. As you can see, we're having some bespoke art exclusive for the article, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that in the next coming weeks.
and
Whoa. Yeah.
the gifts don't end there. 'Tis the season and it's cold, and I've been working on something that's pretty cool. Had a few friends help us out with something, and I know people have been asking us about jackets, and I want my community to look very, dapper and nice, so I've asked our friends at Mrage. So coming soon, in 2025, we will have a M.Rage collab. You will keep an eye out for it. It's going to be a very fun project, and I hope to get to you guys hopefully soon.
Could you explain Mrage to people that don't know?
So for the people at home who don't know, this is a very, very amazing sort of clothing brand, always officially licensed, always high quality, and they have beautiful designs. They do jackets, bags, you name it. Hope to, show you guys some more exciting photos and such as we get more done in the future. But yeah.
Not yet.
No, no, no.
Coming soon.
Close your eyes. Imagine the best looking jacket you ever got.
All right, we're done with product announcements for now. We're going back to events. Our 2025 major conventions.
We're back at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Oh. So those are the our conventions, but we have a few other things to
Yeah.
do as well. So
Yeah. Let's announce some new ascents.
Oh.
We're going back to Taipei to support the exponentially growing community there. This is going to be in September 2025. And Ken wanted us to play a video to announce what's coming next. I haven't seen the video, but
Hey everyone, Chabo here. Thanks everyone for attending and watching from home. Hopefully you've enjoyed all the improvements to both the event and the live coverage we've done at Ascent Santa Clara. No matter how the game is going, the only thing us event organizers have control over is whether you have a great time when you show up, and we look forward to seeing all of you at Worlds 2025 in Anaheim, which will undoubtedly be our biggest event yet. Going into 2025, we have 2 goals. Bring our events up to par with the biggest games in the world. You deserve this. And schedule our events ahead of time so you can be less stressed when making travel plans. The first one is ongoing. As for the second one, we're pleased to say that all of the event locations are locked and ready all the way up to December of 2025. With that, we're going to announce the location of one of our next big post-Worlds ascents. I know a lot of you have been asking, when are we headed to the east? Well, it's safe to say that we are actually headed to the far east.
man, when's Ascent Japan? Are we gonna get Ascent Japan? Can we go to Japan?
I literally thought it was leaked because I heard 5 different people at this Ascent mention Ascent Tokyo, and I was like, did it get leaked? What's happening?
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to start sales for Ascent Akihabara pretty soon. We want people to give a lot of time so that you can prepare to go for a bigger trip, because unlike other ascents, there's a lot less of a community there, but there is a community there that is growing, and we want to support them as well.
Yep. A lot of things to ask for Christmas, just saying.
Yeah. You guys should all show up so we can show them our GA love that we've been sharing across the world. Should be good.
Yep.
Wow.
Can we go back to the slides?
We forgot something.
All right, so to summarize a lot of what we announced today, we have updated our timeline. So this is a timeline for 2025.
Ooh. Yep,
All
determining
right,
the
so
relationship.
even though we went very far east, we do have an Eastern USA ascent in August. Oh yeah, there's Path to Silver in Ascent Akihabara, yes. So in July we have Set 7 DTR as well as SP3. September we have Mortal Ambition Alter Edition. In October we have an Ascent in Canada. Ascent Akihabara obviously, and then Set 8, our expansion set in December. This is like the minimal amount of ascents. We'll have more for sure to announce.
Take this timeline as tentative, please. Things can move and things will change, but we'll try to get you guys the information as soon as possible.
All right.
That's okay. All right.
And I think is that it? About it?
Yeah, that concludes our presentation. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
I think once again, I just want to thank the whole community. Thank you guys for being here with us. I know we had a few technical issues, and for the people who are watching at home, it's super late. I want to thank all of the staff that we had here, everyone on the list, and people who were just also helping us out. So. We couldn't have done it without you.
The casters as well. Really
Yeah.
appreciate you guys.
Thank you to our casting team, our beautiful production team. I think Shinja lost a few of his hairs today, but he's fine, probably. Thank you guys so much again. I won't take up too much of your time. I think we're going to try to wrap it up. We got to get out of here soon. Hope to see you more. Hope to see you at all these events. At the very least, this isn't goodbye. We'll see you guys again soon.
I wanna know that live in Tokyo. If you've seen it, then you mean it, then you know you have to go. Oh my God.